havoc as far as rains are concerned. We'll get you the ground report on that as well. Let's start with my top focus this evening on Nationwide at 6, the story which came in from Maharashtra. Imagine this. The Minister of Agriculture in Maharashtra, how calmly on his phone, on his smartphone, is playing rummy. I can see all these cards lined up on his screen, and this is the Minister of Agriculture in Maharashtra. Mantri ji is only worried about his Maha game. The gamester Neta is busy trying to score some points, maybe become a champion at the farmers in the state, which should be this cell phone screen. The minister possibly should have been reading what the farmers of his state are going through if his department is not giving him a right picture. On this very phone, the minister should have been, ladies and gentlemen, be in fact making notes for how he can make the lives of the farmers in Maharashtra better. But all that did not happen because the minister is too busy playing a rummy game, online game on his phone. And that too, not at his leisure, not at his house, but inside the assembly when the assembly is on. The minister, in fact, also justifies it later, but can we have those visuals of the number of the farmers who are dying and the minister playing games? Can we have the big shame in Maharashtra where just January, in 3 months of 2025, 766 farmers die, and the minister is busy at his game. 8 farmers are dying every single day. The minister is busy playing online game in the assembly session. Is this how they are responsible to the people? Have you forgotten, Mr. Minister, Manikrao Kokate, of the visuals that we played out on this channel, where a farmer, a poor old farmer and his wife were plowing the field because they did not even have the resources. Their plight was highlighted here on NDTV. And this is from Maharashtra. The same minister who is responsible for agriculture is playing the game. There is plow and the plight of the farmer, an elderly couple, and play and delight on the part of the minister, wearing a jacket, sitting comfortably in the assembly. Agriculture Minister Manikrao Kokate was caught in the assembly and is facing massive criticism and public scrutiny after he was caught playing jungly rummy game during an assembly session. This is what they are paid for? Is this what will be acceptable for anybody else? Can you walk to your office during your work hours and start playing jungly rummy? Will your HR not throw you out? Why should the minister be treated any differently? Why should he, who is getting the benefits of the taxpayer, be treated any differently? The minister was playing this game. It was put out by the opposition on social media. He claims it was a YouTube advertisement. Does it look like that he's swiping the YouTube advertisement? It doesn't. And what is minister's justification? Let me tell you. Let me tell you what the minister's justification on this has been. He has said, my assistant downloaded the game. I was trying to open YouTube, was checking lower house updates. Don't even know what rummy is. The app got open accidentally, and the opposition is now blaming and saying that it's I was playing the game of rummy. He said that that's not what I was doing. Let's just first listen into some reactions on this. Before we do anything else, ladies and gentlemen, let me very quickly first put out some numbers for you, some facts that this minister should be bothered about. Between January and March 2025, 767 farmers died by suicide in Maharashtra. Vidarbha region has been the most affected region as far as farmer suicide is concerned. The Maha government, the Maharashtra government has provided, it said that we have provided 1 lakh financial aid as far as these farmers are concerned. And, so far, let me very quickly, half of the farmers, those who have died, are eligible for the compensation. But let's just flip it. I just want to tell you what are the numbers of suicide that have taken place in Maharashtra year after year. It's a big problem in Maharashtra. Agricultural distress is a serious issue in Maharashtra. 2,743 farmers died in 2021. 2022, it went up to 2,942 farmers. 2023, 2,851, and 2024, 2,635 farmers took their own lives because of the agricultural distress in fact, Maharashtra. Let's take a look at some reactions.
वो सॉलिटेयर गेम है, रमी नहीं है। और गेम किसी ने भी तो मेरे पीए या किसी ओएसडी ने डाउनलोड किया होगा, उसको स्काइप कर रहा था मैं, और नीचे यूट्यूब में जाके नीचे के हाउस पे क्या चल रहा है वो देखने के लिए मैं फोन ऑन किया था, और दूसरा कुछ नहीं है। दैट वाज नॉट एट ऑल रमी, दैट वाज द सॉलिटेयर गेम। अगर आपको नहीं तो आप भी डाउनलोड करके देखो।
लातूर शहरात राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्ष आणि छावा संघटनेच्या पदाधिकाऱ्यांमध्ये थोडासा वाद निर्माण झाला। काही असंविधानिक शब्द वापरल्यामुळे त्या ठिकाणी राष्ट्रवादी काँग्रेस पक्षाचे पदाधिकारी माझ्यासह त्यांचा राग अनावर त्या ठिकाणी झाला होता।
Now bring in at this moment, is this acceptable? Should this be something that we as taxpayers, we as people of the country accept? And as I said, if you are caught in your workplace playing this rummy game or solitaire or any other game during the work hours, will you not be facing consequences? Why should the minister not face consequences in a state where the plight of the farmers should be the focus, the prime focus of the government? Shaina NC is the leader of the Shiv Sena Shinde faction, who's joining us at this moment this evening. We also have Akhil Chitre, leader of the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray, and Mayur Parikh is a political commentator who is also with us this evening. Thank you so much to all of you for joining me on the broadcast. Let me start with you, in fact, Mr. Parikh. Like I said, should this minister not be paying any price for the insensitivity that he has shown? In a state where farmers are dying every single day, 8 farmers are taking their own lives, the minister, instead of using every waking minute, agriculture minister, instead of using every waking minute to try and use his time to make their lives better, is busy playing rummy.
Any steps been taken by a speaker of Maharashtra Assembly? Ideally, when this kind of a thing take place and the opposition raise a concern on this, the speaker comes into action, serves notice, and we haven't seen so far any such kind of, because whatever has happened, that has happened within the house. There is something called a code of conduct. What should be done, what not should be done. You are there in the house for the cause of the people and not for the cause of any a game application, or you are not an ambassador of any game or something like that, or Google Android Play Store. So what I feel is that if such visuals have surfaced on the internet, then the speakers of the Maharashtra Lok Sabha, Rahul Narvekar, should have taken some steps on it and should have at least served the notice, by the way of which at least the gesture of serving something or a serious steps could have been seen. But so far we haven't seen any such step. The visuals which you are showing have surfaced just 3 days back of starting Maharashtra Legislative Assembly session. And after that, this video got sparked all over nation, and there was a very high uproar. And now when we can see that the agriculture minister is playing some game on his mobile phone and no action is being taken by government, so we can see that the opposition has taken this an issue.
No, opposition
today,
should make an issue, and it's just not the issue of the politics or opposition. It is absolute insensitivity that has the minister has in fact portrayed. And by not taking any action, neither the within the house or the government, it is very clearly. And Shaina NC is here. Shaina, let me bring you in at this moment. The minister has the audacity to come out and say, no, it was not rummy, it was solitaire, it was somebody else downloaded. It's very clearly seen in the visuals how cards are going up and down with minister's gesture of his hand. In a state where the situation of the farmers is so dire that 8 are dying every moment, every day, is this what taxpayers and farmers of Maharashtra should expect of the minister who's in charge of their well-being?
So firstly, I think any leader, irrespective of which party, needs to be sensitive and understand whether it's going agrarian crisis or a protest. It is imperative for them to understand that they have been voted to power to represent us. However, from what one gathers, there are no kind of bylaws to take action if somebody is playing a game or not. As far as Mr. Kokate is concerned, he's a very senior leader. His official statement was that he got onto the phone and an advertisement for jungle rummy appeared on the phone. What is, however, suspect is that if it is only Rohit Pawar that is trying to make this into a real big political issue to defame him, that too needs to be looked at. But what is the limited piece of advice to everyone in public life, which is that you lead by example. You are representatives of the people.
A lot of people are watching you today, and most of them would want or expect much better from you, because you are known for speaking.
Let me finish my
hold
point.
on. Chana, let me just say this. You are known for speaking. You are known for calling a spade a spade. Let's not get into what the minister has said. He's been caught. And after that, what would you expect him to come and, in fact, agree that, yes, I was playing rummy? He would, of course, come. It was an advertisement XYZ. Very clearly, it is being seen that, cards are going up and down. He's trying to stack them, possibly in a hope that he would win something. I am hoping after he wins this match of Jungli Rummy, he will use that money to help the farmers. It's absolutely outrageous what this man has done.
Look, let me please say, probity in public life, integrity in public life, being committed to your people and the citizens, and especially if you're a minister where you have the opportunity, one expects much more. But these are not traits that can be taught. I mean, these have to come from within. And whether he was playing or not, I'm not sitting here as his spokesperson, and I'm not here championing the cause of rummy in assembly. I am here championing the cause of the people of Maharashtra and the departments that you represent. Obviously, people would want better and want more integrity and more commitment. So I'm not going to run away from your question. However, if there are two sides to the story, don't you think that too needs to come into public domain?
And
that's
precisely why what the minister has said has been put out, what his defense is. But the question is it as simple as just saying, no, it was an advertisement, especially in a state where the farmers are going through such dire states? Let me bring in Akhil Chitre on this. Akhil, why do you think the government, the chief minister, because he's the head of the cabinet, the government or the Speaker of the Assembly is not taking any action? Because the question that I'm asking, if any of us, if I am caught while this live broadcast, while I'm supposed to be here, ask questions, put questions, for the public in their favor to you or to any other political leader, if I am caught playing rummy on my phone, do you think my HR is going to sit idle and not take any action?
See, your HR will definitely going to take action, but moreover this, I think the Assembly Speaker should definitely take serious action against such ministers, because the Maharashtra Legislative Assembly is not for playing online games. It is for making rules and regulations to stop such kind of illegal activities, where there are states like Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Assam, Orissa, Gujarat, who have banned online gaming like rummy and poker, and over here in Maharashtra minister himself is playing rummy online. Yesterday, in his bite, he said that it was an ad which came up of Jungli Rummy, and then the video had been put up, only that much. Now today he says that it was not rummy, it was solitaire. So it clearly states that he is making up false stories and trying to defend his act. And Maharashtra Chief Minister should take serious action against such kind of ministers who are wasting their time and the public money, the amount of money which is spent on Maharashtra Legislative Assembly for its working is being taken out from people, tax-paying people.
Absolutely.
That is not for some time pass.
But Shaina, can I ask you this, because this every time when the opposition creates the allegation that the BJP or the ruling party, the NDA levels at the opposition in the parliament that they are creating ruckus, the time and the money being spent of the public is being wasted. Even if it was not something that of his ministry was being discussed, is this how the minister should be passing his time when the session is on?
Absolutely not. I think every leader, forget minister, even an elected representative like an MLA or an MLC, one expects that they would give their time with absolute commitment to the cause that they are espousing and the department that they are representing. As I said earlier, legally, are there provisions to take action? Obviously, that has been echoed by Sudhir Mungantiwar and Devendra Fadnavis saying, yes, we must look into it. But there is currently no kind of a law that you can, suspend somebody or take action. But I think the larger point here, Ankit, and that's why I come back to this, is that how do you expect a leader to lead his or her life in public space? It must be self-searching, introspecting, right? We are not in school where we're teaching little children that this is how you have to behave in an assembly or this is how you have to behave in parliament.
Shaina, would you agree that this brings embarrassment to the government of Maharashtra, especially at a time when farmers are dying in the state, 8 every day? These are the data which has been given by the Maharashtra government itself. Shouldn't the minister be using his phone or his time to try and see that no farmer is dying in Maharashtra?
Yes, I completely agree that you must spend maximum time on what you have set out to do and what you have been voted for and what you have been nominated for or elected to. But my limited point, Ankit, again, is that if there is any foul play, if there is a Rohit Pawar who is schemingly trying to mismatch and misconstrue, that too needs to be looked at, right? You can't just sit on judgment one way. That's my limited point, which I think is what every citizen would want.
Okay, let Mr. Chitte respond to that, because he's a member of the alliance where Rohit Pawar's party is also, in fact, a member. Politics is being played. They want to, Shaina is saying that the ruling alliance should also look at why is it that Mr. Rohit Pawar is the only one putting out this video. They see a conspiracy in this.
What conspiracy do you see in this video? There is another video which has come up now, sometime back. You will just find it sometime back. It's been uploaded. It's the full video, and it's clearly stating that the honorable minister was busy playing rummy online. And Shaina ji is trying to defend this kind of act by saying what Rohit Pawar.
She's not defending it. Let me be fair to her. She's not defending it at all. Yes, I also find it bizarre that there is a political conspiracy spin being given to it, but nowhere has she defended what the minister was caught as far as this video is concerned. Sir, please go ahead, complete your point.
Yeah, but every time now and then she's trying to say that why Rohit Pawar has uploaded it. Someone had to do it. Someone had to bring it to the light that these ministers are busy playing games over there in the house where they have to form reforms for people. Not go and play games over there.
Okay.
If these kinds of ministers are not fit to be there, I think the honorable chief minister should sack them from their post.
I am hoping that the political class at least once, rise above your political differences, because the lives of farmers are not a game in Maharashtra. The minister has embarrassed himself, and there is nothing honorable in what he has done sitting in the Legislative Assembly when the session is on and, busy on his phone doing whatever, the playing rummy or solitaire. That doesn't, in fact, bring him any respite if he says it was not rummy, it was solitaire. Look at the plight of the farmers, rise above the differences. They need immediate help. Everything else could, in fact, come later, because 8 lives are being lost in Maharashtra every single day. And that should be the top priority, the most worrying priority as far as the ministers and the government of Maharashtra is concerned. Thank you so much to all my guests for speaking to me on this. We'll keep a very close eye because there is a need, ladies and gentlemen, to bring out such things. Your leaders are supposed to be responsible to you, accountable to you, answerable to you, and job of the media, of me and my team and all of us here at NDTV is to make sure that such people are held accountable. We'll keep raising our voice on that. Let me now shift focus to Delhi, where the monsoon session of the Parliament it was fireworks on day one, setting the tone of what you can expect in the monsoon session.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया।
पहलगाम हमला 22 अप्रैल को हुआ था, अब तक आतंकवादी पकड़े नहीं गए।
सरकार पहलगाम और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पर चर्चा करेंगे, हर तरीके से करेंगे।
चर्चा करने के लिए पूरी तरह से तैयार,
लेकिन संसद सत्र का पहला दिन इस तरह से हंगामा करना ये तो ठीक नहीं है।
So both houses of the parliament were adjourned minutes after reconvening, after the members of the opposition reiterated their demand for a discussion on Operation Sindoor and the ensuing, occurrences, particularly the United States President Donald Trump's assertions time and again of him brokering the truce between India and Pakistan, of jets being in fact shot down during this conflict. The operation, remember, technically is still on. But the country, and of course, this is exactly what the opposition was saying, has the right to know what exactly happened, and that is why they want a discussion on this. In Rajya Sabha, Union Civil Aviation Minister, on the other hand, also answered several questions regarding the Ahmedabad, the Air India 171 plane crash, but the focus was on the discussion on Operation Sindoor, which now the government, of course, has accepted. The opposition also wanted the Prime Minister to be in the House when the discussion is taking place, answer the questions that the opposition wants to raise, and hence the discussion on Operation Sindoor for 16 hours has now been scheduled for next week.
ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में भारत की सेना ने जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया था 100% अचीव किया। आतंकियों के आकाओं के घर में जाकर के 22 मिनट के भीतर ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के तहत उसको जमींदोज कर दिया गया।
पहलगाम हमला 22 अप्रैल को हुआ था, अब तक आतंकवादी पकड़े तो नहीं गए, लेकिन हुआ क्या? एक मिनट लेकिन J&K में कम से कम इंटेलिजेंस, इनकी सिक्योरिटी है, उसके बारे में उनका फेल्योर हुआ, ये उन्होंने ही कहा है। लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर ने कहा है इसमें इंटेलिजेंस फेल्योर है, ये एक्सेप्ट उन्होंने ही किया, ये हमारी बात नहीं सर।
Meanwhile, now the Sindoor debate is going to be fireworks in midst of the questions whether, for something which should have united both the country, and the polity completely, should the opposition push for it? And then, of course, what will be the government's answers to very sharp questions as far as Pahalgam terror attack is concerned, the failure of the intelligence is concerned? Because the country also has a right to know. Accountability needs to be fixed. On the other hand, AI-171, the Ahmedabad plane crash, was also a point of concern as far as the opposition goes. Many questions were raised on AI-171 and the ongoing investigation, which were responded by the Civil Aviation Minister.
एक बहुत ही दिल दहला देने वाला एयर इंडिया का एयरक्राफ्ट क्रैश हुआ। लंदन बाउंड फ्लाइट उड़ते ही गिर गई। वो उसने, मुझे लगता है, कलेक्टिव कॉन्शियस जो भारत देश के, उसे झंझोड़ के रख दिया। तो इस विषय में इस रेगुलेटर को हमें मजबूत करने की जरूरत है ताकि एयरक्राफ्ट सेफ्टी पर और मुस्तैदी से काम किया जाए। और मैंने एक अंत में सुझाव ये दिया, डीजीसीए को ऑटोनॉमस स्टैट्यूटरी बैकिंग दी जाए।
To have a definitive answer and a definitive future correction measures we have to look at the final report, sir. And I can say this to the House and through you to the people of this country also, that the AIB has a very definitive, thorough, rule-based process. They are very transparently looking into the process right now, and they are totally unbiased. This also I can say that the AIB is totally unbiased and looking into the facts. We want to stand by the truth. We want to find out what exactly happened, and that is only going to be coming out once the final report has been placed.
Let me turn now to my colleagues Aishwarya and Himanshu, those who have been covering the Parliament session, who are joining us at this moment on the broadcast from Vijay Chowk itself, right in the vicinity of the Parliament. Gentlemen, thank you for speaking to us. Let me start because with Aishwarya, you cover the government, Aishwarya, and the BJP. The battle lines have been very clearly defined and drawn ahead of this session. The opposition wants a debate on Operation Sindoor. They want to corner the government on what happened in Pahalgam and the fallout of, with President Donald Trump also speaking about this. Aishwarya, I just want to understand from you, what is the government's strategy to counter this? How are they preparing? Because it has been also a day of very high-profile meetings inside the Parliament with the Prime Minister chairing some.
Well, in fact, it all began with a customary soundbite that Prime Minister gave this morning ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament. Prime Minister stated that the kind of unity that was shown by different MPs were the part of the multi-party delegation who was sent to 33 different global capitals. The same kind of unity should be shown inside the Parliament when there is a debate on Operation Sindoor, and this will certainly give more morale to Indian armed forces. But it all went into a heated arguments inside the Parliament. The opposition wanted discussion and statement from Prime Minister on the floor of the House, but that is something that the government was denying too. In fact, it all went and boiling down to the Business Advisory Committee meetings. I would like to give you the latest details as far as what we are picking up from both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Despite the Lok Sabha BSE allotting 16 hours of time duration for next week to have an open debate on Operation Sindoor, the Rajya Sabha BSE that met twice today left without consensus. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. is what we have been told, that again the Rajya Sabha BSE will meet. There are division in the opinion of the opposition bloc. Some of the political parties want just the debate to happen on Operation Sindoor.
Right.
Rather, the parties like Congress and others want Prime Minister to open or to conclude the debate on Operation Sindoor. Mallikarjun Kharge went on to say that was a complete intelligence failure. The Lieutenant Governor spoke about it and why the government is silent. So it will all be seen.
It will be very important debate that it can be expected on this, because there are, of course, much to celebrate of what India achieved during Operation Sindoor. But yes, questions remain as far as the terrorists, those who came in and conducted that Pahalgam massacre, where are they, and whether heads will roll as far as the intelligence failure is concerned. That remains a big question. Himanshu is with us as well. Himanshu, the opposition, is there a division in the opposition when it comes to this monsoon session? Because even before the session started, Aam Aadmi Party seems to be going in a different direction as far as the India bloc goes. And how is that impacting the strategy of the opposition to corner the government?
Well, of course, it has weakened the opposition unity, Ankit. You made a very important point. See, I did speak to a senior Aam Aadmi Party leader, and he was very categorical that except the Lok Sabha elections, all other assembly elections or by-elections, Aam Aadmi Party and Congress have contested separately. So there is no point of Aam Aadmi Party joining hands with the India bloc during the monsoon session. And on the very first day, a reflection of this divide within the opposition rank was visible when the Business Advisory Committee meeting took place, in which the government said that we are ready for a debate on Pahalgam attack and Operation Sindoor. But opposition parties, of course, spoke in two different voices. Sources have told us that while the Congress leaders insisted that Prime Minister must reply to the questions that opposition has on both Pahalgam attack case and Operation Sindoor, and as to why a ceasefire was agreed upon. We have been told by sources that a senior Aam Aadmi Party leader who was present in the meeting said that there is no point in insisting that Prime Minister should take part in the debate. The Aam Aadmi Party's stand on this issue is that there should be a debate, and let it be the government who decides who will reply to this debate on behalf of the government. So on this, because of this difference, there was no consensus on the broad contours of how the debate will actually take place in Rajya Sabha, Ankit.
It was heartening to see the entire opposition backing the government when the Operation Sindoor was launched. Of course, that was only, that unity was lived or seen only for those few days. And, after the all-party meeting, delegations went out. But the Parliament session has once again brought the cracks open, not only in the unity between the Treasury and the opposition benches, but also within the opposition. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out in the Parliament. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me at this moment. With that, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other hand, while you are comfortable in your houses, some people enjoying the monsoon, but there are places in the country which are struggling because of the massive monsoon havoc, misery, which has been raining upon them, especially the hill states. I'll get you the details on this after a short break. Stay tuned.
That's huge. That is a biggie. It's out there.
Gold Plus Clear Glass. Par ho ya near, sab kuch dikhe clear.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of maximum city is infectious. I'm bringing that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti, also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
India's IT capital is always bustling, a city full of startups, stories and surprises. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold ICICI PSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
आप एक गुंडे जैसे बिहेव कर रहे हो सर।
मेरी
आप तो एक गायकवाड is running away from NDTV's questions.
That issue is not before the High Command. It was not discussed so far.
Kolhapuri chappals costing $1,300.
The noise we made finally got heard, and it's so nice that somebody took action on it.
Pictures and videos of women that were taken in the Bengaluru metro, now on Church Street and other prominent places in Bengaluru. We managed to arrest both of them.
We are bringing you now, for the very first time, is that the Air India preliminary crash report is out.
This 15-page report into 10 key findings of what really is being said in this probe report.
What's reporting without impact? NDTV 24/7.
कहना इस दीवार पे इतने इश्तहार चिपके हैं कि कोई दरार नजर नहीं आती। मैं उन लोगों में से जो कहता हूँ सारे इश्तहार फाड़ के फेंको, पहले दरार को एड्रेस करो।
ये दरार इसलिए क्योंकि कुछ लेफ्ट कुछ राइट, पर हम उन मुद्दों में आपके साथ जिनसे आपकी फाइट है। डिजिटल से देश समझा, अब टीवी पर समाधान लाना है। आइए मेरे साथ खबरों की कचहरी में सिर्फ NDTV पर।
It's rain misery in the northern states, in the hilly states of India because of the monsoon. In fact, North India's hilly states are unlikely to get any respite from the relentless downpour, with Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand set to receive heavy to very heavy rainfall till Thursday. That is according to the Indian Meteorological Department. Heavy rainfall has inflicted massive damage in parts of Himachal Pradesh, and several roads have been closed, lives lost, lives absolutely disrupted and uprooted. In 11 districts of Uttarakhand as well, there is now, in fact, very heavy downpour alert, which the Meteorological Department has sounded. These visuals tell you the story of how the monsoon is raining misery in many states. Let me, in fact, bring you one by one what these visuals are telling the story at this moment. In Bundi, Rajasthan, heavy rainfall over the past 24 hours has resulted in the flood-like conditions in several cities. On your screens right now is the visuals from Bundi. Many villages have been cut off as rivers, drains and dams overflowed due to intense rainfall. Meanwhile, in Dehradun, an orange alert has been sounded for heavy to very heavy rainfall in the 6 districts of Uttarakhand. Dehradun also received heavy rainfall, which has caused a lot of inconvenience to the people. In Uttar Pradesh, the IMD has issued an orange alert of rain for many districts. These visuals are from Prayagraj, where in the next 24 hours, there is expectations of heavy rainfall with thunderstorms. Already, the water of the river Jamuna is flowing over the danger mark in several places, including Varanasi. Now, let's come to Himachal Pradesh, which has been at the receiving end year after year of flash floods and cloudbursts. In Kullu, the visuals that you are seeing on your screens, relentless rainfall has once again plunged Himachal Pradesh into crisis, triggering landslides, flash floods and widespread infrastructural damage across multiple districts. The authorities are on high alert as key highways have been closed and education institutions have been ordered to shut down because of severely affected rainfall areas. Rainfall in Mumbai, continuous and heavy rainfall in Mumbai has also brought the maximum city to a standstill, leaving many areas waterlogged. At least 3 feet of water was in fact seen in many areas, which caused a lot of traffic, vehicular traffic congestion in low-lying areas which have been waterlogged. The busy subway in Andheri has now been shut because of flooding there. So one after another, there have been so many places across the country which are suffering at the hands of the rain gods. It also tells you the poor planning and the way we are treating, we are tinkering with the natural way in mountains of the water, the way the water in fact goes out. That is impacting the lives of the people, many losing their lives as well. Let's get you some important ground reports that my colleagues have sent from across the country.
Last night it was also raining, but there was no water logging reported. But now at Andheri subway, you can see the situation is getting worse. You can see the mark of the water level, which has turned to 4 over here. There are many other places in Andheri subway and other places also in Andheri where water logging has reported. This entire situation creates every year, and police and BMC have to face many problems to evacuate the water. Every year there has been promises from BMC that there will be no water logging in Mumbai and the parts of Mumbai, but it never happens that some places don't report the water logging. The weather department has also said that and declared 24 hours yellow alert for Mumbai, Thane and rest of Maharashtra, where the rain will be pouring like that only. It's been 1 hour since this rain is continuously pouring. You can see the common people are in problems right now. Everyone is walking with the water. There is water logged everywhere. You can see the people, how they are traveling to their offices in this heavy rains. There are many problems. This all people face every year, probably in the Andheri East area. This is the subway which connects Andheri East to Andheri West, and every year this type of situation occurs. Now we have to see that by what time this water can be evacuated. There are big motor pumps which has been placed by BMC every year. They try to evacuate water as soon as possible, but now rain is so heavy that this is taking so much time. After some time, it may happen that water can be locked off from here, but for now, it's heavy raining in Andheri area and water logging has happened over here.
उत्तराखंड में मौसम विभाग ने भारी बारिश का ऑरेंज अलर्ट जारी किया है और ये 6 जिलों के लिए भारी बारिश का अलर्ट है, जिसमें देहरादून, टिहरी, पौड़ी, चमोली, रुद्रप्रयाग, नैनीताल, इसके अलावा अन्य क्षेत्रों में भारी बारिश का अलर्ट है। अगर देखा जाए तो देहरादून और नैनीताल में भारी बारिश के चलते यानी ऑरेंज अलर्ट के चलते स्कूलों की छुट्टी की गई है। इसके अलावा देहरादून में देर रात से लगातार बारिश हो रही थी। इस वक्त हम हरिद्वार नेशनल हाईवे में हैं, जहां देख सकते हैं कि इस वक्त लगातार बारिश हो रही है और जल भराव भी नेशनल हाईवे पे धीरे धीरे बढ़ रहा है। और पूरे इलाके की अगर बात करें तो तमाम जो इलाका है वो बारिश की वजह से जो विजिबिलिटी है वो भी कम हो रही है। बारिश की एक और ख़ास बात है कि पहाड़ी इलाकों में बारिश को लेकर अलर्ट भी जारी किया है और ये कहा है कि जो राह में चलते हुए यानी जो अपनी यात्रा कर रहे हैं वो सतर्क रहे। इसके अलावा जो तमाम जो यात्रा चल रही है चार धाम की, उसमें भी यात्री मौसम का जो पूर्वानुमान है उसको देखकर ही आगे चले। इस वक्त प्रदेश में कांवड़ यात्रा भी चल रही है और कांवड़ यात्रा को लेकर भी अलर्ट किया है कि जो गंगा नदी है उसके किनारे ज़्यादा गहराई में लोग ना जाएं, क्योंकि ऊपरी इलाकों में ज़्यादा बारिश हो रही है।
Hello, Moto.
Motorola, India's leading AI smartphone brand.
Dead in Dhaka jet crash. 16 students, 2 teachers, pilot killed as jet crashes into a college in Dhaka in Bangladesh. Justice Yashwant Verma impeachment case in the Rajya Sabha. The High Court judge to be impeached. 145 MPs signed the impeachment letter. Prime Minister chairs high-level meeting with the Home Minister, Defence Minister, Finance Minister and others in the Parliament. Exclusive details on the mishap at Mumbai airport of Air India plane as the flight from Kochi veered off the runway. It broke airport's signages. The engine was damaged as well.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Well, in the latest episode of Control All Defense, we are talking about a platform that all of you want to hear about, the Tejas. The big question, we do know it's a great platform, but is it of use for the Indian Air Force going into the future? How relevant will it remain?
A 36-hour non-stop flight by a small pack of B-2s. A lot of other aircraft were also involved, we know that. But let's talk about the B-2 flight itself. They took off from Missouri. 36 hours later, they landed back without once landing. They delivered their bombs 18 hours later over Iran and then came back. How was this possible? Because the Department of Defense says at no point of time on this 36-hour journey was there any reason to believe that they were either detected or reacted to?
Well, they weren't detected, because if they were, then they'd be in some serious trouble. It's one of the most unbelievable missions, one of the most historic long-range strike missions. There were 7 B-2s, which by B-2 standards is a fair number of them. There was deception in the very beginning. There was a sense that some of them were flying west across the Pacific. In fact, they weren't. And even if a few planes were positioned in one area, they were not going to be flying the Pacific route.
That was the big distraction.
On social media said, you see the bombers, they're now flying west, so you know what's coming your way. But no. They flew them east across the Atlantic. There were 125 aircraft in total involved. Refuelers were involved at every stage. There were fighter aircraft which linked up 4th generation and 5th generation planes, 5th generation being stealth aircraft. And then after an 18-hour flight one way, right, they shortly before they struck their targets, which was primarily Fordo, using a remarkable weapon which we'll talk about called the GBU-57, 30,000-pound weapon.
Monster.
Before that took place, there were several land attack cruise missiles launched from American submarines and possibly destroyers as well. Possibly in the Persian Gulf, submarines, they don't tell us a location that could be as far out.
The American media says it was one submarine called the USS Georgia.
So again, location, I'm not sure if that would be Persian Gulf, could be the Mediterranean, could be the North Indian Ocean as well. But this is what I found interesting. By the time those land attack cruise missiles, Tomahawks, actually struck their targets in Natanz and Esfahan, the American B-2s had already left. So in other words, they launched their missiles first, but by the time the missiles hit, they were the last to hit their impact points. But that's just the nature of the weapons, which are a bit slower than, the aircraft going in the B-2s and dropping their bombs and then getting out.
A question that I'm often asked, Vishnu, is 125 aircraft were accompanying at various points of time. It's not like it was this big swarm of aircraft flying together, which people may be tempted to think when they hear the word 125 aircraft were involved. But tell me something. When the B-2s entered Iranian airspace or sensitive or contested airspace at any point of time, would the B-2s have been alone or would those 5th generation fighters have been with them?
The 5th generation fighters would have been with them, 4th generation fighters as well. And what we do know is that escort and support aircraft linked up with them and in a sense cleared the path of the B-2s, because what did they do? They deployed high-speed suppression fires against surface-to-air missiles. So they were being absolutely clear. Now, the Iranian radars wouldn't have likely picked up the B-2s at all. It's got a radar signature of smaller than a sparrow.
Tiny.
So you don't necessarily pick that up at all. But they weren't taking any chances. They were clearing the airspace for them, taking out through search and destroy missions, surface-to-air missile sites. The B-2s went in, dropped their bombs with precision, impact points in Fordo, and we've got those images up. We've got fantastic satellite images, even new ones which have come in, showing the exact penetration points in Fordo. They then got out. And obviously, they were accompanied by, I would suggest, F-22s and F-35s. This is the primary role, or one of the primary roles.
So those are the ones firing anti-radiation missiles, high-speed anti-radiation missiles.
I think those would be F-16 and perhaps even carrier-borne FA-18 Growler.
Those were definitely there.
Yeah, those would be going in over there with HARM missiles, which would take out possibly radiation
radar
sites coming out of radar.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Now the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves and Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash. Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
जनता के पास सवाल ही सवाल है। जवाब ढूंढने को वो देखती है न्यूज़ और देखती है यहाँ तो सवालों का मायाजाल है। ऊपर से ये अलग फाइट है, कोई पूरा लेफ्ट तो कोई पूरा राइट है। बीच में मुद्दे के साथ कौन है, जनता को जवाब चाहिए। इसीलिए सवालों की परेड नहीं, मैं लाऊंगा खबरों की कचहरी। मैं शुभांकर मिश्रा, मेरे साथ देखिए कचहरी रात 8 बजे सिर्फ NDTV इंडिया पर।
But I'd like to start this off by asking you, Vishnu, what you think about the whole question of India not having stealth fighters right now.
It's a huge
Everyone's
problem.
trying to sell them to us as well.
It's a huge
There is no doubt that we are living in the age of selfies, filters, and now stares. The Gen Z death stare is the latest viral trend taking over social media feeds, where emotions are out and blank expressions are in. But what exactly is this stare saying or not saying? My colleague Arun Singh decodes.
Gen Z death stare.
Well, it's cold, it's silent, it says more than a 5-minute rant.
Welcome to the Gen Z death stare, the new viral form of expression without any expression. Think Mona Lisa.
But why does Gen Z do it?
It's mostly used in scenarios where something was said that was so appalling that it just does not deserve a response from my side.
That's a statement. Like, understand from the reaction, guys. Hello, why we don't want to waste a single breath.
Yeah, it hits harder, I think.
Yeah.
And since it hits harder than words, I think us non-Gen Zs should also start using it. Tabish, you tell me, when would you want to use a death stare? कब use करना चाहेंगे?
जब आपसे कोई एक्सप्लेनेशन मांगे।
अच्छा इंक्रीमेंट नहीं होता ना, तब वही काम आता है। बॉस के सामने और तो कुछ हम कर नहीं सकते, तो डेथ स्टेयर के ही अपना प्रोटेस्ट दर्ज करवा सकते हैं।
जब मुझे मेरे दोस्त चाउमीन खाने से रोक देते हैं तब।
When I've been told to do 5 things together at one time.
Well, the critics of this viral form of expression say that it communicates indifference, superiority, judgment, silliness, or plain boredom. Well, for the sign-off of this video, I'm not going to use any words. All I've got for you is...
Well, I was trying the death stare, it's not working, so let me say bye-bye. Thank you so much for being with us on this edition of Nationwide at 6. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Students, 2 teachers and a pilot killed after a Bangladeshi Air Force jet crashes into a college in Dhaka. High Court judge to be impeached. 145 MPs sign impeachment letter for Justice Yashwant Verma. Prime Minister chairs high-level meeting with the Home Minister, Defence Minister at the Parliament. Exclusive details with NDTV on the Air India flight mishap from Kochi. As it veered off the runway, it broke airport signages. The engine was damaged as well.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
The markets move fast.
And so should your portfolio. Expert insights, real-time stock picks.
Do I buy Ola?
Should I hold CDSL for the long term?
Buy, sell or hold.
The answers you need, straight from the experts.
Callers from India and across the world. Connect live, ask, decide and invest wisely.
Your portfolio, your future. Ask Profit.
आप एक गुंडे के हेल से बिहेव कर रहे हो सर। मेरी आप तो एक मेरा गायकवाड is running away from NDTV's questions.
That issue is not before the High Command. It was not discussed so far.
Kolhapuri couples costing $1,300.
The noise we made finally got heard, and it's so nice that somebody took action on it.
Pictures and videos of women that were taken in the Bengaluru metro, now on Church Street and other prominent places in Bengaluru. We managed to arrest both of them.
We are bringing you now, for the very first time, is that the Air India preliminary crash report is out.
This 15-page report into 10 key findings of what really is being said in this probe report.
What's reporting without impact? NDTV 24/7.
कहना इस दीवार पे इतने इश्तहार चिपके हैं कि कोई दरार नजर नहीं आती। मैं उन लोगों में से जो कहता हूँ सारे इश्तहार फाड़ के फेंको, पहले दरार को एड्रेस करो।
ये दरार इसलिए क्योंकि कुछ लेफ्ट कुछ राइट पर हम उन मुद्दों में आपके साथ जिनसे आपकी फाइट है। डिजिटल से देश समझा, अब टीवी पर समाधान लाना है। आइए मेरे साथ खबरों की कचहरी में सिर्फ एनडीटीवी।
Some say sport is a matter of life and death. The truth is, it is far more serious than that. Sport is about ecstasy and agony, about pain and suffering, about joy and much more. Some say there's no one better to tell these stories. So here I am. Join me, Boria Majumdar, on India's #1 news network.
Well, in the latest episode of Control All Defense, we are talking about a platform that all of you want to hear about, the Tejas. The big question, we do know it's a great platform, but is it of use for the Indian Air Force going into the future? How relevant will it remain?
A 36-hour non-stop flight
18
by a
into two.
small pack of B-2s. A lot of other aircraft were also involved, we know that. But let's talk about the B-2 flight itself. They took off from Missouri. 36 hours later, they landed back without once landing. They delivered their bombs 18 hours later over Iran and then came back. How was this possible? Because the Department of Defense says at no point of time on this 36-hour journey was there any reason to believe that they were either detected or reacted to?
Well, they weren't detected, because if they were, then they'd be in some serious trouble. It's one of the most unbelievable missions, one of the most historic long-range strike missions. There were 7 B-2s, which by B-2 standards is a fair number of them. There was deception in the very beginning. There was a sense that some of them were flying west across the Pacific. In fact, they weren't. And even if a few planes were positioned in one area, they were not going to be flying the Pacific route.